Hey guys, this is Chris, and today's video is all about showing you how to use the Line 6 Helix to control the amazing looping app inside of the iPad called Loopy HD. So the first thing I want to do is we're going to dive in and kind of walk you through the intro to the video to kind of explain how everything is laid out, how it all works. And then the last part of the video, I'm going to actually show you how to program it so you can do it yourself. So let's dive in. Alright guys, now we're going to take a closer look inside of the Line 6 Helix to see how everything is set up. So as you can see, I have a whole bunch of different buttons and they all control something different inside of Loopy HD. I have a reset session button. Now if I were to hit that, I would actually clear out all of the loops that I have going right now. Right now I actually imported a loop from my computer into the first slot, and what that has is it has the drums and the bass line. So if I were to hit reset session, it would delete everything. The next one here is record loop. That's the main button that records the loop. Now as you look at the camera that's showing you the iPad, there's a different slot that's glowing orange. That means that that slot is ready and armed to then have a loop placed there. So if I were to hit record loop, that's going to give me that first guitar track. The next button here is play stop loops. So that's going to play all loops and stop all loops every single time I hit that. So the next one we have loop up and loop down. So whenever I hit loop up, as you can see, when I hit it, it's going to move it around on the iPad. So loop up, loop down. So that is how you're actually going around and selecting different slots to put in different loops. The next button, actually these two are effect switches. So this is my reverb and this is my delay. The last, or second to last one here is the fade out. What that'll do is if I hit it twice, it'll actually fade out the loops. And you can set the duration at how long it takes for it to fade out. It's very cool. Now this last one here is delete loop. This is kind of like an undo function. So if I mess up or I just decide I don't like that loop, I just have to make sure that I'm selecting the right loop, and then I hit delete loop and it'll get rid of the loop. Very cool, all set up very nicely. So like the intro of the video, I wanted to do that again, but now giving you a close-up look on both of these items so that you can see how it all works together. So I'm just going to play it again, and now you'll understand a little bit better of how everything's working. So let's take a listen again and watch how everything's changing. Alright, and that's how it works. Very, very cool. Really great setup. And now what we're going to do is we're going to dive even deeper and show you how to actually program this. I'm only going to add one more spot, and that's right here. We're going to add a pause button. So let's dive in and show you how it works. Alright guys, so this last section of the video I'm going to show you how to program it, and it's actually very, very simple. If you come over to the iPad, come down here to the bottom and click that little button there. Then it brings up this menu here, and you go to Settings. You go to Control Inputs. Now the way you hook up the Helix is you come out with USB cable into a camera connection kit, and then that goes into the iPad. So as long as you have that hooked up correctly, it'll show up, Helix will show up as a control input option. So you click right there. Now here are all the MIDI selections I have going already. Now if you go up to add binding, we'll add a new one. Now before I go down to the Helix and show you what we have to do there, all I'm going to do, if you look up here, it says waiting for events. So once we hook up the Helix, then we'll press the button and the selection will pop up there. But before we get there, we want to figure out what we're going to do with this. So there's an action and then track. Action is what you want to have happen. Track is where you want that action to take place. So you go over to action, and we want to do toggle session pause. Okay? So now there's no track because that's affecting the whole session. So now we're going to go down to the Helix and show you how to hook that up. So as we go down to the Helix, we want to go over to the three little lines here, and we're going to go to Command Center, and we're going to go all the way over to this open one, which is right here. And we're going to go to Command, and we're going to change that to MIDI CC. Now, you can probably do this a couple different ways. This is just how I've done it. Change the MIDI channel to 1. Now, I'm going to change the CC note value to 10 because I've already set up a couple other ones up there. Now, this value has to go from 0 to 1. So, MIDI CC, MIDI channel 1, CC note, whatever you want. You just want to make sure that it matches. And then value 1. So now, whenever I press this button, we're going to look at both the Helix and the iPad right now. When I press this button, you're going to see it pop up on the iPad. Alright, so now we have everything in line. And I'm going to customize this and make it say pause. So do that real quick. Okay, I'm going to save it. So now I have pause right here. So now we're going to come up back to the iPad. We're going to do save binding. So now we're going to get out of the menu. And now I'm going to play all of these, but I'm going to do it from the Helix, and then I'll press pause and they'll all pause. Here we go. Alright, so you can see, very, very simple. It's all very, very cool. Well, thank you so much for watching this, guys, and hopefully you guys can think of other cool ways that the Helix can control MIDI instruments. So if you like this video, guys, subscribe and give it a thumbs up and leave me a comment. Alright, thanks, guys, and see you next time.